What is hypersexuality and should it be treated? Despite the fact that sex is more and more penetrating into our lives and from the realm of shameful and forbidden is becoming that notorious glass of water advocated by proto-feminists, people's problems in sex have not disappeared anywhere. Where is the line between enjoying a variety of sex and hypersexuality? How do you know if you're just the liberated, subtle polyamorous connoisseur, or do you still have problems? To begin with, the severity and significance of sexual desire differs from person to person. This is influenced by both congenital and acquired during life factors. In sexology, it is customary to evaluate a given level of sexual need by determining the so-called sexual constitution, which can be strong, medium, and weak. To determine it, experts rely on such indicators as the age of awakening of sexual desire, libido, the age of the onset of menstruation or the first ejaculation, kurtosis, the maximum possible number of completed sexual intercourses in 24 hours, the trochanter index, the ratio of height to leg length, and other indirect factors such as pubic hair or finger length ratio. But here we must be aware that we live more in a cultural environment than in a biological one, and the sexual constitution reflects only the energy component of sexuality, that is, biological inclinations that are not necessarily realized by a person in full or are manifested by hypersexuality, because the tendency to draw does not yet make an artist. And in order to determine whether your sexuality goes beyond the norm, it is important to define the very concept of norm, which is rather vague in sexology. Therefore, we will start from the concept of sexual health. According to the definition of the World Health Organization, sexual health is a complex of bodily, emotional, intellectual and social aspects of a person's existence that positively enriches a person, increases a person's sociability and his ability to love. Accordingly, if all aspects of a person's life, bodily, emotional, intellectual and social, are occupied with sex, thoughts about the realization of erotic fantasies and desires, then most likely such a person will experience discomfort, because a person does not live by sex alone. It is this subjective discomfort and uncontrollable thoughts that trash acts entail that we can call hypersexuality. According to the International Classification of Diseases, ICD-10, hypersexuality is still a diagnosis. Female hypersexuality is also called nymphomania, and male, satyriasis. Judged objectively, we can talk about hypersexuality when a person feels discomfort from obsessive thoughts about sex, which lead to obsessive behavior and loss of control over themselves. Hypersexuality can manifest itself in different people in different ways. For some it is constant masturbation and concentration on oneself, for someone it is a passion for pornography, for someone it is a constant search for new partners, and not permanent ones. Sometimes it comes to the point that a person cannot have sexual intercourse with the previous partner, that is, the factor of novelty becomes fundamentally important. In addition, hypersexuality can manifest itself as an obsessive desire to approach sex workers or workers. If a person copes with the peculiarities of his sexuality, directs it in the right direction, works on relationships, then in this case we are not talking about hypersexuality, even if a person has a really strong sexual temperament and pays more attention to the sexual sphere. If you think you need help, you can always contact the experts. The doctor will carry out the necessary diagnostics, including a study of the hormonal background, which may be the cause of disorders, a mental examination, if necessary, CT, MRI, or send to related specialists, an endocrinologist, gynecologist, urologist, psychiatrist. Then, if necessary, will prescribe therapy, which may include medication or psychotherapy. So, if you don't have problems with your partner, or partners, if you're not constantly masturbating, watching porn, or looking for a one-night stand, you're fine. Or looking for a one-night